What's up, people? Welcome to week 7 of English 1101. I am somewhat in a new area of my classroom. Normally, I record back up there, the front of the classroom, so you can see my whiteboard. But this week, I am back here by my bookshelves. My hair's kind of flat. But my bookshelves, which are actually kind of uh, empty because kids have just been assigned books to read, independent books, and so they're using my books mostly. And so, but I thought this would be kind of a cool, different sort of background, even though you don't really see much of my background because I share my screen mostly with my computer screen. Okay, but still, a little something different to look at. All right, so week 7. This week we are, let's see here. This week I'm introducing cause and effect essays, compare and contrast essays, and classification and division essays. And if you have your textbook, which everyone should have a textbook by now, but also you probably figured out that you're getting by without one pretty easily too. Okay. You're going to read in the textbook chapters 10, 11, and 12. And then you're going to read these tools, which I'll go over at the end of the lecture. Okay. I got my iced coffee here. Yeah. Thanks to my sister who gave me a bunch of these canned iced coffees. No sugar. No, I just add a little bit of cream. I just add the cream myself. I just put it right there. Oh, it's so good. Perfect. Okay. So let's get here. So here's the 1101 course page. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Go to lessons. It's already on. Okay. Scroll down to week 7 material. Week 7 material. In here, you will have everything that I go over today and talk about. Okay, you'll have the readings, which I'll go over again in the assignment. I'll go over later. You have this documentary that I'm going to talk about today. You have the 2 websites that I visit today on during this lecture. Then you have the week 7 PowerPoint notes that I'm about to go over right now in the real PowerPoint. Okay, so everything you need and everything I go over and everything I talk about is right here in the week material folder. Okay. Let's get this wonderful PowerPoint started. No, I don't want to draw. Okay. I just want to do the slideshow. Oh God. Let's see. Can I just start it here? This little like. There we go. Get out of here. Slideshow button. From beginning. Thank God. Sip, sip, sip. All right. Essay 2 styles. Cause and effect, classification, division, comparison, contrast. These are the 3 types of styles that you can use in essay 2. The whole essay does not have to be just one of these. You can use all 3 of these strategies in your essay. Okay? So note that. Do you like my fall school PowerPoint? I love it. The first one we're going to discuss is cause and effect. And these really are not shockingly new, I'm sure. Maybe classification might be a little bit different, but I mean, cause and effect, you've been learning about cause and effect since you were a child. A cause and effect essay can do one of 2 things. It can analyze the ways in which one or more effects can result from a particular cause. So just focus on effects. Or it can analyze the ways in which one or more causes lead to a particular effect. Okay. So here's the cause, but we're going to really talk about a bunch of effects. Or here's the effect, but we're going to talk about a bunch of causes that add up to that. There are different types of causes. What we first see are often these superficial or contributing reasons. Hiding just out of sight are the fundamental causes. The second and most important cause is the primary cause. For example, pollution is caused by transportation, manufacturing, and humans. So your essay is about pollution, but you're focusing on these three causes of the effect of pollution. So like one whole paragraph would be about how transportation causes pollution. Duh. And then one whole paragraph on manufacturing, how it causes pollution. And one whole paragraph on humans. Okay. So three causes of the effect of pollution. Or you can focus on the effects. Of course, not every cause and effect essay is about the causes. In fact, some may center on the effects of a single cause. So what are the effects of air pollution? You have air pollution, and why is that bad? Well, air pollution negatively affects plants, it negatively affects animals, and negatively affects humans. So this would be a whole paragraph on plants, a whole paragraph on animals, and a whole paragraph on humans. Now these examples are kind of boring. Okay, when you pick your essay, I really hope that you pick a topic that is like, I'm reading 80 of these, so you should want it to be, interesting for me, please. God, please. The obvious ones are like, yes, pollution, which is really important. Look, I'm wearing green, okay? I love nature. I hate pollution. I hate all that stuff, okay? But I've read 800 essays about the cause and effect, impact of pollution. That's all I'm saying. So, like, you might want to consider, what is the end effect? Is there one primary effect, or are there several effects? All right. Causes of World War One. Those aren't really debatable. Okay. Types of cancer. Yeah, these are kind of boring. I'm gonna say that these are kind of boring. All right. Now, what's really interesting is this documentary, Food Inc. Okay, cause and effect. All right. The documentary I'm going to talk about, Food Incorporated, you can access it by following this link, which I've posted in the week 7 materials. Okay. Food Inc. It's a film that came out in 2008, and not much has changed. Even though you might be like, oh my God, that was like 12, 13, 14 years ago. But nothing's really changed. Okay. There's a chapter of this film, this documentary, called Unintended Consequences. And with it, all right, is that it talks about the unintended consequences of our current food system. Okay. So essentially how it will show you about, let's see. The chapter talks about how corn is fed to cows. Okay. Corn is fed to cows because corn makes cows fat. And corn, you can raise a whole lot of corn on a small amount of land. A farmer can grow more corn on their property than wheat. Okay. And the government is encouraging farmers to grow corn, and they're making corn. They're buying all the corn up from farmers because they're feeding it to cows. And the corn and the government wants the corn to be really cheap because they want farmers to buy corn to feed their cows. The government wants fat cows because fat cows produce more meat, and the more people buy, the more taxes the government collects. Okay, so corn is being pushed out to cows, and if I have a cow, if I'm a farmer and I paid $30, not 30. If I'm a farmer and I paid $500 for this cow and $500 for this cow, all right? And this cow eats corn and this cow eats wheat, all right? This cow who eats corn is going to, let's say, weigh, I don't know how much a cow weighs. Let's say 1,500 pounds, okay? Because they're eating corn. They're really fat and muscular. This cow that I paid the same price for it, that only feed wheat to, it'll say it only weighs 1,000 pounds, okay? So when I chop those cows up and I sell the meat, I'm gonna make a lot of money off the 1,500 pound cow, a lot more than I'm gonna make off the 1,000 pound cow. All right. So if I pay the same price for them as you know, what kids, baby cows, then I make a better profit if they're heavier. So corn makes cows fat. The problem though is, which this film goes into, is that you see this? This is a hole cut into the cow. That's the top, that's the plug. And this woman is reaching her hand into this cow. Now, what? Okay. And what turns out is this: cows are not designed to eat corn. Actually, a lot of people are not designed to eat corn. Okay. And a lot of that corn that they eat doesn't get digested, and instead it kind of rots in their stomach. Okay. And when it's rotting in their stomach, it develops E. coli. E. coli, which is very bad. Okay. E. coli is a bad bacteria that is found in, decaying material and poop. Okay. And so what these farmers are doing is that they're feeding corn to cows. They figure out the cows cannot digest all the food. So then they cut these holes into the cows, which they claim do not hurt. And then they have these people whose job it is to reach into the cow's stomach and to pull out the undigested, decaying corn that's in their stomachs. The corn, this stuff that would have, that would have E. coli on it, all right, and to throw it away. Now the problem though is that these cows, you can't get all the E. coli out, okay? And the cows on a lot of these big giant manufacturers, they're called CAFOs. They are stuck together, and they're pooping all the time, and they're really close to each other. And so these cows end up getting caked in manure. They get a lot of manure on them, and in that manure is the E. coli. The E. coli that's being produced in their bodies because of all the corn that they're eating. And even though they have people reaching in and pulling out a bunch of this nasty stuff out of their stomach, these people cannot get all that E. coli out. So they get E. coli on all over their bodies because they're covered in poop, and then they go in to be processed, okay? And then E. coli ends up being in our meat because it's in the poop, and the poop gets into the meat, okay? And they become contaminated, and then people eat E. coli and they die. All right. So this chapter talks about the cause and effect of our food system, and about the previous chapter was about corn. This one's about the effects of corn in the system and how it leads to this and it leads to this. And it talks in the chapter talks about a toddler who dies from contracting E. coli from eating a bad hamburger. Okay. So this whole thing is cause and effect. If you have a chance, you should watch the documentary. It's a great documentary, and it's all cause and effect. It's all cause and effect. It's great, and I've posted the link. It's free. It's free to watch online. What? Yeah. Yeah. What? All right. The next thing is division. You can also write an essay where you utilize division. You take a topic that is usually seen as one thing, and then you break it up into distinct pieces and show how actually there's a lot of different compartments to it. Okay, so what we're going to do is, so like this looks like a human, okay, but division would be to divide up and say, no, there's actually 3 different parts. So we're gonna go to this website right here, 38.com, and this is gonna talk about how, there's this idea of like the Democratic Party. Oh, you're a Democrat. Wow, okay, go to hell. But really, though, there's all these different wings of the Democratic Party, and the same thing is true for the Republican Party. There's different wings of the Republican Party. So, like, not all Democrats are the same, and not all Republicans are the same either. And so, which is why, sometimes people are upset. Like, even when we have when there's when there's only one party in the House, there's still division because people are split into different little subcategories. Okay, so there's like super progressives inside the Democratic Party. They're very liberal on economic and identity cultural issues, anti-establishment. All right. They're the very progressives. They're not super progressive, but they're very progressive. Very liberal on economic issues, fairly liberal on identity issues, skeptical of the Democratic establishment. Okay. And then there's the progressive New Guard, liberal on both economic and identity issues, but also somewhat concerned about the electability of candidates and the appeal of ideas to the political center. They rose to prominence after Barack Obama. Okay. Stacey Abrams, woo woo, go girl. Then we have the progressive Old Guard, which I did not mean to click on that. These are center-left, economic and identity. They are almost considered to be liberal Republicans or more conservative Democrats. My computer is not responding. It's a bit freaking out. I'm gonna pause for a moment. Awesome, it's back. All I had to do was curse at it. I said a few curse words, and then it started working again. This is crazy. Oh yeah. All right, and then we have moderates and conservative Democrats. So, I'm not going to go and read all these because this is not a lesson on Democrats. But this article is a division article. Okay, it takes something that's seen as the Democrat Party, and it divides it into actually 6 little subgroups. Okay, so that is division. This website, you can read it. This is a perfect. So if you wrote an essay, you would take something that is generally seen as one group or one item or one series, okay, and then actually talk about how, well, no, really though, this is actually, we can divide this up into different parts, okay. So there you go. And then the complete opposite of that, let's see, is classification. Okay, organize things into categories and give examples of things that fit into each category. All right, and so this right here is like, we can say, well, there's the American political parties, all right, and that there's the Republican Party, there's the Democrat Party, there's the Libertarian Party, there's the American Communist Party, there's the Green Party. These are all different political parties in America that people can join and vote. Okay. These are the 5 active. The American Communist Party has never had. No, they have. Oh yeah, they have actually. I was gonna say they've never had a presidential representative, but they have my girl here, Angela Davis. Oh, this book is all you can't even buy it. You can't buy it new. You can only buy used copies. It's not even being published anymore. Right? She's awesome. God, I love her. She actually ran in the 80s as the American Communist Party candidate for presidency. But since then, though, they really haven't had a candidate. They've only they usually just supported the Democratic Party. And the American Communist Party, their idea is that like they would like to get rid of essentially minor elections. President is different, but like they want, pretty much if you want to, because like politicians, if you become a senator, a House representative, then you join a what do you call it? You join a little group that focuses on like education, okay? That focuses on roads, that you focus on different policies and stuff. And the American Communist Party, they're like, hey, if you shouldn't have to win an election to have a voice inside of any of these, so you can just join, just do it. But they pretty much support whatever Democrat is running. Okay, the Libertarians, they're still pretty strong. A lot of the Libertarian politicians have either converted to Republicans or they have dude. Okay. Or I had a guest, and I think I was talking about Libertarians. They used to have much more of a presence, and now most Libertarians they disguise themselves as Republicans because they feel like they won't ever really get the votes if they broadcast they're Libertarians. But like they're like so obviously Libertarian. It's like, but they claim, oh no, I'm a Republican. Like, no, you're not. Okay. And then one thing I didn't mean I don't hear is an independent, which I think an independent it's not really an independent party. Like John McCain was one of the last real independents, even though John McCain himself said that he was a Republican. But John McCain was so not just a Republican. He was an independent. I mean, he voted against so many Republican policies and Democratic policies. Back when he was running for presidency against Obama, that was probably one of the only times where I felt like we would be fine either way. I wanted Obama to be president. I voted for him. I thought that it was really, really important, but like, I don't think John McCain would have been bad at all for the country. I think John McCain was a good guy, and he showed his decency through for most of all of Obama's presidency. And then, he was very much against Trump, even though he wasn't against Republicans. He was just against Trump, and he stood his ground. And I've always respected politicians who take a stand against their party, because it should be about country over party. So let me move my soapbox over there. Okay. So American political parties, this is classification. This is saying that, like, showing the different, they're not divisions. Okay. These are, would be the Republicans. This is Democratic. Okay. This is Libertarian. These are all different groups and ways to organize the political parties in America. Okay. All right. So that's classification. Comparison and contrast essays. So, like, you can just classify or divide and just say, in pretty much where you just talk all about one and then talk about something else, okay, and you're just listing them. Comparison and contrast is when you're going back and forth between two groups, okay? Like classification and division essays are very similar to comparison and contrast. But the difference, though, is that, like, a classification would be like you just talk about the Republican Party. You just talk about the Democratic Party. You just talk about, in your individual paragraphs. Okay? But in a comparison and contrast, you are talking about them together, the similarities and differences of the groups. So contrasts draw out differences between two subjects. Comparisons draw out the similarities. Okay? They might demonstrate how one is superior to the other, or vice versa, or how they might seem dissimilar, but they really are similar. Okay, there is in a body paragraph, you're talking about both at the same time. Okay, so like in this case, we could use this website right here. Differences between Democrat versus Libertarian, and this is also posted in the week 7 folder. Okay. But like this though, this is like actually, see, look, they're being discussed next to each other. Okay, this very much is a comparison contrast where you're not just reading about one of them and then the other one. You're reading about them both on these different issues. Here's democratic economic ideas and these libertarian economic ideas. Stance on military, stance on military, stance on gay marriage, stance on gay marriage. Okay. Stance on abortion. All right, so like that is a comparison and contrast. Here, differences in philosophy. Talking about libertarians and Democrats in the same paragraph, in the same paragraphs. Okay, so this is a good example of how you would write a comparison contrast essay. Your two things that you are topics you're discussing, they're being discussed in the same paragraphs. They're not isolated in their own paragraphs. If you just want to talk about things individually, then you wouldn't be doing a comparison contrast essay. You'd be doing a classification essay or a division essay. Okay? Those are their own paragraphs. Comparison contrast is both subjects are discussed at the same time. Okay. Hope that makes sense. All right, so this week there are 3 articles I want you to read. White Flight, Awkward Black Girl Guide, Connecting with Other Blacks, and an excerpt from All the Rage, Mothers, Fathers, and the Myth of Equal Partnership. Let's go take a look at all this. So we're in the week 7 material. Here's the All the Rage PDF, the Awkward Black Girl PDF, and White Flight from the book The Color of Law. Great book. All right, and here's the homework. Read the required chapters from the textbook. Read at least 2 of the 3 posted articles. So, all right, fine. I love for you to read all 3. Okay, but whatever. Originally, I wrote 2. And review the MLA notes. This assignment needs to be in proper MLA formatting when you submit it. Okay, you will be graded for MLA formatting in this. All right, so after finishing the reading, complete this assignment. Open a Word document or Google Doc, set it up correctly in MLA formatting. All right, and then 3, you're going to write 2 paragraphs discussing the 2 articles you read. For each article, decide which type of essay it mostly is: cause and effect, compare contrast, or classification division. Your 2 paragraphs have to identify the articles as separate styles, meaning that both articles you write can't be considered cause and effect. I want you to begin each paragraph by stating the title of the article, what type of essay it is, and then go about proving your analysis. Discuss that type of writing based on your reading of the textbook chapters, and then pull evidence from the articles that prove those points. Your entire document, as in the header and the 2 paragraphs you write, should be about 275 to 300 words. If you write this as a Google Doc, download it as a PDF to submit. And actually, if most people should upload this document as a PDF. Whether if you wrote it as a Word document, save it as a PDF. If you wrote it as a Google Doc, download it as a PDF, because when you submit a PDF, the Blackboard does not change your last name and page numbers, okay, for whatever reason. So it's a good way to safeguard that. I hope that makes sense. Look, if you don't have the textbook, you can just follow my notes from the PowerPoint. Okay, it's pretty out. The notes will tell you, as I've already gone over, what is cause and effect, what is division, classification, what is comparison, contrast. You're just essentially saying, you're writing an argument saying, okay, I read ABG Guide to Other Blacks, and in this article is clearly a blank. It's a cause and effect essay. I mean, it's a cause and effect article. White Flight, All the Rage. Okay. So if you have any questions about what the assignment is, then, or you don't really understand it, please email me. Okay. If you finish this assignment this week and you have time to watch, oh yeah, Food Inc. You should. It's a great documentary. Great. Okay. Give it a watch. All right. So that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Okay. I'm gonna stop this right at 30 minutes. Okay, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Bye!